Episode 5 of the Book of Boba Fett is the best episode yet, but it confirms the fact that Disney, Star Wars, including Jon Favreau, have no faith in what they're doing. I'm going to get into some spoilers, so if you haven't been caught up to date and you don't want to watch it, that's fine. You're warned. Come back later. But guys, Episode 5 of the Book of Boba Fett is its best yet, and it doesn't feature a second of Boba Fett. How does that make sense? Episode 5 is literally the season 3 premiere of The Mandalorian. It really felt like someone accidentally uploaded the wrong episode. It just was like, out of nowhere, the show starts off, we're back with Mandalorian, and I'm like, what? Yes! Here we go! Now, to be fair, I knew this, and I reported this. I tried not to spoil it for you all. I gave you plenty of spoiler warnings. We're going to get into more scoops from this channel, but I do want to have a round of applause for myself, because not only did we confirm and report on the fact that the Boba Fett series was coming to Disney Plus over a year ago, we also, 6 months ago, I had an exclusive source that told me that this was going to happen. And I know what else is going to happen. It seems pretty clear that not only is Mando back, but Grogu's back. So and you can watch my previous report where I shared these concerns then, and now my worst fears have been realized. I had faith in Jon Favreau. I had faith in Dave Filoni. I was like, oh, cool. This is going to get good. They're building this cool universe. But episode 5 was good just because it was nice to see this character back. But the more I'm sitting with it, I'm like, no, this was actually kind of bad. This was just like a fast-forward summary of, here's what's going on in The Mandalorian. Oh, he's found the other Mandalorians. Oh, he's got to tell him what's going on. He has the Darksaber. Let's explain that whole history and show a couple shots to explain all that backstory quickly. Oh, and then let's have him explain that he hasn't taken the helmet. Now he's been banished by that. So much stuff that I'm like, I was intrigued. I was invested. I like it. But I'm just like, it was all just rush to get him to Tatooine, to build a ship, and then Fennec runs in, hey, we need you. Come help Boba. Okay. And now we're going to like spend the last 2 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett featuring the Mandalorian because they had no faith in Boba Fett. This show has just been a mess, a complete mess of fan service. And even this one, look, I didn't mind it. It was all the call outs and like it literally became, episode 5 literally became the Phantom Menace for a minute. And for a minute, I actually thought it was kind of cool. It didn't feel incredibly forced. He has a new, fast ship. He's going to go through, and then as he goes through, of course, he's going to go through where Anakin did his pod race. We get to see his new ship going through all the caverns, and sure, it's fan service, but I didn't mind it. But again, it's just yet another example of countless examples of this show relying on the things that you remember. Book of Boba Fett literally brings in Jabba's cousins to just do what? To say, hey, they're here? And they looked so bad in CG. It was just like, how were those people holding, they had like 12 people holding 2 huts and just walking through the desert like that? It's getting silly, the amount of fan service where it's like, can we start focusing on like a cool new story? You introduced this new Mandalorian. I like him. I really like the character. I like his struggle. You introduced Grogu. It's like a sort of a foot in the nostalgia, but also its own new character. All this stuff was great, and you ended it so beautifully in season 2 of Mandalorian. Well, that ending. Guys, that ending was... I rewatched it after last week because it left such a bad taste in my mouth. This show resorted to Boba Fett, world-renowned bounty hunter, screaming at a rat-catching droid, "Do you know who I am? I am Boba Fett." Literally to a harmless, shrieking robot. A sobbing robot. It was just embarrassing. I had to go watch the season 2 finale to like as a palate cleanser to remind me like, oh, this show actually can get good. And I know a lot of us have problems with Pedro Pascal and what he chose to do to Gina and all that. And that's a whole conflicting now. It's become political in a way. But taking all that aside, I really like his performance. I like his character. I've been invested in him. And when he and Grogu separated at the end of season 2, it was beautiful. And then for Luke to be the one that shows up as a complete surprise to all of us. No one reported that one. It was just a beautiful ending that I don't know how they're ever going to get there again. So to see this first episode back, which, guys, it's season 3 of Mandalorian. If you haven't watched Boba Fett, if you've been putting it off, you got to watch season 5 if you're invested in the Mandalorian story, because they go and get right into it. What's going on with the Darksaber, Mandalore, it's all addressed in this episode. And It's a good episode to watch if you want to follow The Mandalorian. However, to shoehorn him in after that beautiful finale into this weird Boba Fett show, to me is such a mistake, and it just shows that the fact that they have to resort to not only bringing back Mando, but bringing back Baby Yoda. Because Favreau and Disney are like, guys, I don't know if we can do this without them. We need to go get Yoda out of his baby Grogu out of his Jedi training. Like, that makes no sense. How could they have not creatively come up with a cool season idea with a new villain or a new adventure that Din Djarin goes on, and then at least wait a season or two before we have a justifiable excuse to fast forward time a bit and bring back a little bit older Grogu? I know he grows slow, so it's going to be hard, but still, like, it just seems like such a missed opportunity to suddenly have that moment of real emotion when they separate, to bring them both back for this show. Oh, I'm just mad. It just doesn't look like anybody knows what they're doing. Now, again, even in this one, it feels like they have to deliver so many Star Wars shows to meet the Disney Plus quota that the quality is no longer going to be as good. Okay, what else can we bring in? Who else can we bring in from the EU? What else from nostalgia can we bring fans to remind them and talk about it? When are we going to tell a new Star Wars story that's not reliant on everything else? Why can't we do that? Book of Boba Fett is just a meandering, walking around gruff, dull humbug. Work for me. Want to work for me? Hey, let's all be nice to each other. Let's all be civil. Hold on, I got to go back in my Bacta tank. It's literally the Bath of Boba Fett. We have the coolest, supposedly, most badass, notorious bounty hunter in the world. And has he killed anybody? Has he done anything to warrant his title? No, Fennec has been the one who's out there. Ming-Na Wen has been just kicking everybody's ass. I like her. I like her character. But, oh my God, what's going on in the show? Episode 2 of Boba Fett was the only one I sort of liked. And I wish Star Wars would do more things like that. The Tusken Raiders backstory I thought was fascinating. There was like no dialogue. He was like sort of, he was captured by them, but then becomes part of them. He relates to them. It was a really cool episode. It was longer. Hell, I would have watched a 90-minute, 2-hour movie about the Tusken Raiders. That would have been an amazing, I think, standalone, more independent piece. It wouldn't even have to been that expensive. Like, I want more like that of Star Wars. If we're going to go like into the nostalgia factor of looking into things that we didn't really know, let's really take some time, get some new creative voices who love Star Wars to like really go in there and develop something different that we can see these characters in a new way. I really liked it. But then what does the show do? They're just murdered. We get all this time and invested, and then they're just murdered. These badass Tusken Raiders out of nowhere, murdered by a biker gang. I don't get it. I don't get what's going on in this show. Ups and downs of this show, and then how could we forget this? I know yes, they have modded characters in Star Wars. Luke has I know there have been modded characters in Star Wars, but these like weird millennial Power Ranger, bright, colorful neutrinos look so cheesy in this world. We've been to Tatooine how many times? And I've never seen color like this before. But now we're supposed to expect, oh yeah, sometimes it's a big universe. Sometimes it comes in. It just fell out of place. It just felt forced. And these characters were terrible. I thought they were so cheesy. I'm not invested with them at all. There's so many weird choices. And I'm so disappointed. I'm such a big fan of Robert Rodriguez. That whole action sequence was so phoned in, lazy. Like, this is the guy who did do-it-yourself film school with El Mariachi and Desperado. I just feel like everybody's phoning it in. They're feeling the pressure of Disney Plus to just deliver. And we're having these moments of cool, but there's no substance behind it anymore. And The Mandalorian was the one thing where I really was still invested in that character and that show. I was going to give season 3 a shot. I was excited to see where they go. But it's just turning into, all right, what other characters from the cartoons can we bring in, from the extended universe? Let's just, oh cool, we'll put this one in, and then we'll have this one cameo, and then we'll do this one, and then focus on a story. Create a cool new character. Take us someplace new. This universe is so vast. Why are we always so reliant? If you people out there who are defending the show saying, oh well, yeah, there's modded things, and sure, the universe is big. Anybody could be out there. We could have some brightly colored motorcycles. Great. The first new characters we get are these idiots. These are the most boring, one-dimensional, nothing characters yet on the show. Give me something of substance. What are we doing? Where is the direction, Jon Favreau? What is going on with this show? I'm so sad by this. How do you dump The first episode of Mandalorian Season 3, as an episode 5, they literally called this episode The Return of the Mandalorian. And it's a 50 or 45-minute episode. That's just all what Mandalorian's been up to since last season. Why? The show's called The Book of Boba Fett. Why can't you then commit and find something interesting to do with Boba Fett? Fine, Mandalorian shows up at one point. Great. Okay, have him show up at the final episode because you want to have a big battle. Okay, fine. But you literally gave us all the backstory again. It just shows that Disney doesn't like this character, in my opinion. They're like, we can't rely on this character by itself. And they knew it even before it aired. That they're like, we got to throw Mando back in. Where's this going? I don't know where it's going. But we got to deliver this because we don't have season 3 written yet, and we've already written all these half episodes of Boba Fett. Okay, well, let's get this one done. All right, why don't we just put? Hey, I started Mandalorian season 3. I could put that as episode 5. It just feels like they're like, okay, yeah, great, cool. Can we get it done in time? That's what it's starting to feel like to me. Boba Fett, this notorious villain, is now resorted to this old man. It seems this old man, kind. Giving everybody second chances, letting them come into his home while he's sleeping in the tank. Like, what a moron this guy is. He's done nothing cool yet. I don't understand. I don't understand. What is happening with this show? Why are we back to where... what do you guys think? I needed to rant a little bit. I'm still going to give this show a shot. I clearly want to see where this goes because now Mandalorian and it seems Grogu... As I reported, Grogu is coming back, guys. It's going to happen. They're going to take Grogu out of Jedi training literally as quickly as they could have. Is this frustrating anybody else, or am I crazy? I want to hear your thoughts. Tell me down below. Let's have a civil conversation. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please help sway me back onto the side of wanting to see where the show goes. But if you want to see more of my movie takes, streaming takes, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for all alerts, smash that like button, and let me know what you think. Do you see the problem of the Book of Boba Fett? Are you agreeing that there's something wrong here? Or am I overthinking all this? The fan service is enough for you to be invested in this new turn that Boba Fett is becoming. I want to hear your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching here on Movie World Plus. Movies, plus streaming, plus Hollywood, plus scoops, plus everything in the entertainment industry.